What's up lovely people, welcome back to Freebird Diaries. In today's video I'm going to show you the proper way of cleaning and lubing your chain. For that I have these two products. This is the chain cleaner and degreaser from Putolin, and this is the Dry Tech. So yesterday I had actually gone to Gear and Ride and they had suggested me these two brands, right? Apparently this lube, which is the Dry Tech, also repels sand particles, and now considering the monsoons are kicking in, I think this is the best bet for keeping your chain in check. You would also need a chain cleaning brush like this, okay, and a piece of rag to clean the chain later on. To keep your hand safe, you would need a pair of gloves. So let's get started. Make sure your bike is on the center stand so that the rear wheel is pretty free and it spins with your hand. Also, a lot of people, what they actually do is, start the engine, put it in the first gear and then spin it. With that you're risking two things: one, your own fingers, which might get stuck in the sprocket, and the second thing is, the grease or the dirt might spill into your gearbox and the engine up ahead, because obviously when you have, because of the centrifugal force, it does go out, right? So I think my chain is pretty much packed with muck, grease and dirt. The first thing which I'm gonna do is use the degreaser, leave it on for 5 minutes and then use the brush, clean it, again spray the degreaser, leave it for 5 minutes, take the piece of rag, wipe it clean, nice and dry, and then I'm going to use the Dry Tech. And how do you put the Dry Tech? There is a way to do that as well. I will show that to you right now. The next step that you need to do after putting on the first round of degreaser is just chill. So now, since 5 minutes have gone by, the next step what I would be doing is using this brush, okay, and this is to clean the sprocket, which I will do a little later, but this would be used to clean the chain. It's hard bristles. Now the tricky part is I have this splash guard on for the chain cover. Ideally it would be much better if I didn't have this on, but right now I don't want to remove it, so I'm gonna stick in my brush here and just spin the wheel, right? So as you can I don't know if you can see this, but what I can see is there is a lot of muck, dirt and grease already on this. So I'm gonna put that back there and then scrub it a little more. Make sure you scrub it nicely so that all the dirt, grease, muck, everything is out. You could also do this for the Continental GT, but however I think for that you would, since the Continental GT does not have a center stand, you would need a paddock stand or just ask someone to lift the bike up. Okay, so like you can see, most of the muck, everything is pretty clean, and I have this in my hand. So now what I'm gonna do is take the degreaser again and spray it once again. And just like that, we've successfully managed to degrease it. However, leave this on for the next 5 minutes and I'll show you the residue, how it drops down. So guys, if you see this, this is after about 5 minutes of degreasing. And if in the case that you would have your engines up and running, all this dirt, muck, particles would be in your gearbox right there, which wouldn't be that nice, right? Also, again, what I don't need to clean, another thing, is my rims. I mean, that's the dirt from last night because of the rain. But you know, if you have all the grease, muck, oil sprinkled onto this, because with the engine which is on, it's not only that, there will be many other parts where you will actually have to again sit and clean and everything. So to avoid that, best use your hands. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing is actually taking a piece of rag and wiping this off. Again, please be mindful and careful of your hands. Okay, it's going to be literally like this. I don't know if you can see it, but yep, just keep cleaning and be careful of your fingers. You wouldn't want to lose them, would you? The links to the products that I'm using, I will share that in the description down below. You can also visit gearandride.in to get your products. They have a huge stock of this right now, but even during COVID situation, also they've shifted their office and the shop, so Google Maps is updated. That's one great thing which Gear and Ride has done, of updating, because that's the smallest things is sometimes the most often things that we forget to do. Here is a closer look of how clean the chain looks, you know, from the dirty black filled with grease, muck and oil to this. I mean, it looks brand new, doesn't it? It looks super new, and the link qualities are pretty good. You will find a little bit of residues like these, but it's okay. So now moving on, we put in the dry tech lube, right? Now here is a way to put the lube. Let me just quickly show that to you. So when you actually put in the lube, right, make sure you put it in this and in this towards the inside. You don't need to spray it on together completely in the, you know, center of it and waste a lot of lube, but then you can just put it in here and in this bit towards the inside, because then what happens is, because of again the centrifugal force, it will automatically get pushed outside to the other O-rings over here, and it will actually lube them as well, and also the inside. Because if you put it on the outside directly on both the sides, what happens is, because of the centrifugal force, it just keeps going out, right? It will get pushed outwards itself. So if you put it inside, you save a little bit of lube and it gets pushed outside eventually. Let's get on to the lubing. So the best part about this is, you know, Putulin already gives a nozzle, a thin nozzle, so that you can actually use this and spray it precisely inside the rings, right? If you want a larger area, you still have this, a normal spray, but make sure you break the seal open first, right? It's a new pack, and honestly it's not that expensive, and it's much better than Motul and all the other ones. And just like that, we've successfully managed to loop the chain. If you notice that there is a slight clear coating which is also a little bit opaque forming around the links, that is what is going to keep your links and the chain safe and sound. If you did enjoy this video and found it useful, please do give us a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, because your support is our motivation, and the more you support us, the more motivated we are to give you much better content. Cheers.